Alright, what's up guys? Starting the vlog a little bit late today. It is super sunny outside, as you can see. Headed to town right now with a couple of friends of mine to catch some Pokemon or something like that, we'll see. But today is gonna be a good day.
On the beat.
This is a Chucky Beat production.
Sipping on some lemonade.
Alright guys, so as you just saw, I ate that big ass meal, which was kind of like a pizza bread, something like that. Some potatoes, a steak, green beans, rucola, mushrooms. Am I forgetting something? I think not. But yeah, anyway, that's what I eat. That's what I ate. So yeah, on days like this, when it's really hot outside, most people forget to eat something or eat at all. So I really like to stay on top of it because I know that when I don't eat for a while, especially when it's that hot outside, I always make sure to get some water with me wherever I go. But it's really important to me anyways to keep eating because I will get woozy and dizzy if I don't eat, which most likely most of y'all have too. If it's really hot outside and you're outside all day. So stay on top of your nutrition, guys. It's really important, especially if you're going to the gym on the same day, so you don't want to get like lightheaded when you're training. At least, I hope you guys don't want that because it's pretty logical, right? Always keep paying attention to that. Alright guys, for today's video I want to talk about progressive overload and kind of how to apply progressive overload into your training. For those guys, for you people who do not know what progressive overload is progressive overload is simply put the gradual increase of stress placed upon the body, during training. To put it in a very simple manner, the increasement of stress during your training, and stress meaning the load you put on your body, on your muscles, right? So there are a numerous amounts of how to apply progressive overload into your training. Progressive overload is necessary for us natties and I don't know how it works for steroid users, but it's kind of different. So anyways, for us natties, progressive overload is necessary to make progress in the gym, whether it is to build strength or to build muscle, or both of them simultaneously, like I always do. So let's go over the most common known progressive overload types, which is progressive overload in weight, progressive overload in volume, and in rest time. So let's go over what progressive overload in weight is, which is most likely the most common used way of progressive overload, which I always use myself. So progressive overload in weight is basically you start off with a weight. Say you're squatting 315 pounds or 140 kilograms, on squats, for a 5x5 set, 5 sets of 5 reps. You do that for one training, and then the next training you add 1.25 kilograms or a 0.5 pound plate on each side, so that'll be like 5 pounds added. No, excuse me, 1 pound added or 2.5 kilogram added on the total amount of weight that you're doing for your sets. And then you try to attempt to get another 5x5 set the next training. By doing that for numerous amounts of times, you are forcing your body to adapt to the load that you're putting your body on. So over time, your body will get used, your central nervous system will get used to the load that you're putting on your body. So that by getting used to it, you'll get stronger. So that's pretty much what progressive overload in weight is, and that is also the most common way of progressive overload that I know. So that's why I use it myself all the time. The other way of progressive overload is in volume. Pretty much, basically you add more sets or more reps into your training. Say, example again, squatting 315, 140 kilograms for a 5x5. Next training you might attempt to do a 5x6, 5 sets of 6 reps. So that's pretty much increasing the volume of your training with the same load but higher volume. And you can pretty much do that in any way or form you can possibly think of. You can add more sets, you can add more reps, as long as the training that you're doing is going in a linear fashion, going up, making progress. You're simply applying progressive overload. The last type of progressive overload that I'm going to be covering in this commentary is progressive overload in rest time, which is very simple, but it's, in my opinion, most likely to be the hardest way of progressive overload. Progressive overload in rest time pretty much means you'll decrease the rest time you have in between the sets, going from one set to another. Say you're resting like 3 minutes in between your sets of squats or bench press or whatever it may be. You'll try to decrease that like, I don't know, maybe 30 seconds up to a minute, which means you'll rest 2 minutes in between your sets. The only downside that I see in this way of progressive overloading is you'll most likely have a harder time to progress, strength-wise, because it'll be a lot harder to hit those, for example, 5x5 sets of squats in a shorter rest time, because, most likely the people who do 5x5 sets need some time to recover. But the only upside I see to this is they'll most likely stick to the same weight for a longer period of time, which makes it easier to decrease rest time overall. So that's pretty much, the 3 most common ways to apply progressive overload into your training. Why do people do this? Why should you do this? A lot of beginners and maybe even intermediate lifters, they don't know that they have to make progress in a type of way. They'll most likely be on a bro split and training like a bro, putting every set to failure, having someone having someone help them do forced reps and training every set past failure, which has been proven for us natties to not be effective at all to make progress in the gym, to gain muscle or to gain strength. It's a really smart idea to stay independent in the gym, not really having to have a necessary spotter behind you for every single set or rep that you do. Because, as I just covered in all the ways of progressive overload, the most effective way is to add weight over time or to increase volume over time, or to decrease rest time, but I don't really recommend, that way of progressive overloading. So that's pretty much what progressive overload is. The way that I apply it is I do a mix of overload in weight and in volume. I might increase the weight on my first 2 or 3 top sets, or maybe 1 top set. And for the rest, I might do a back down set and increase the number of reps that I usually do for my back down sets. Say I'm doing 170 kilograms on the squats and doing 2 sets of 3 reps, right? That's my top sets. Then my back down sets, they will usually be 150 kilograms for 5 reps. What I might do is increase the weight of the 170 kilogram squat, you know, the 2 sets of 3, and doing 172.5 kilograms for 3. And then, you know, keeping my back down sets the same, or the back down sets will be increased in reps. So say instead of 5 reps, I'll do 6 reps. So that's basically it, guys. I hope you guys thought this was informative. And please leave a comment down below, you know, on what you learned and if it was informative at all. Subscribe to the channel for so much more content coming really soon. Like the video. Peace out, guys.